Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. Welcome to the AAA President's Choice trip for 2023. My name is Tony Spade. I'm president of AAA, and with me today is Melissa Peterson, who is our tour guide and the person who is going to do a lot of the presenting for this wonderful, spectacular trip. This trip goes September 14th to September 23rd, and it is all inclusive on Celebrity cruise lines. And we do have some air that Melissa will talk about coming out of Toronto. It's direct Toronto to Athens. So that'll be a nice, easy flight. Although it's a little bit long, it'd be a nice, easy flight for us in regards to that. So Melissa, let me turn it over to you and you could introduce some of the places that we're going to visit.
Sure. Thanks, Tony. So yeah, to piggyback off of what Tony said, this is our President's Choice trip, hand selected and picked by Tony. Wanted to introduce the members to this region and also Celebrity Cruise Line. So a really great opportunity to get into Greece and experience Celebrity Cruise Lines. So our trip has a lot of inclusions, like Tony said, virtually all inclusive. So 2 nights in Athens at the Titania Hotel with breakfast included. This is a spectacular hotel right in the heart of the city. There's a rooftop bar and restaurant area that overlooks the Acropolis, and that's actually where we're going to have our welcome cocktail reception the first evening. There's going to be an exclusive city tour of Athens included for just the AAA group and our members. On the 16th of September, the day that we embark on the ship, our transfers from the hotel to the pier are included. Again, an exclusive AAA transfer. So we'll leave the hotel and get to the pier all together, all at once, and be greeted by porters who will take care of our luggage for us. And then we embark on Celebrity Infinity for 7 nights in your choice of stateroom accommodation. So whether it's an inside cabin, ocean view, cabin with a veranda, or even a suite, it's your choice. Once on board, all of your meals and entertainment are included. You also have a beverage package included, so beer, wine, cocktails, sodas, waters, you name it, it's included with your beverage package. Onboard Wi-Fi is included, so you can, upload those images and stay in touch with family and friends at home. Gratuities for your cabin steward are also included. And we have onboard events for just exclusively for AAA members sailing with us. So a group dinner, a cocktail party, and then also an experience in one of the specialty dining restaurants. We're actually taking over a seating for one of those meals. So it will be just our group dining together in that specialty dining restaurant. All port charges and taxes are included. Baggage handling, like I mentioned, upon arrival at the pier, porters will take care of our bags and get them to our cabins for us. But leaving the hotel on the 16th, you'll leave your bag outside your room, and the bellman will take care of it for you and get it over to our transfer. So lots of inclusions there. And then also, like Tony mentioned, there will be a AAA group travel tour manager with you, and that will be me, making sure everything goes as planned and they're alongside of you every step of the way. Do you have anything you want to add, Tony?
Sure, thanks. And Melissa, that's great overview of that. I will tell you that as an individual, I did sail on Celebrity last summer, and I can tell you that the service was just fantastic. The food was outstanding. The entertainment was terrific. And I would classify Celebrity as being a luxury cruise line. It is not the big, Royal Caribbean or Carnival cruises that you see. It is still a bigger ship than a riverboat, but it is a great size ship and easy to navigate through. They did a fantastic job.
They did, really. And, as somebody who sells travel often, the same feedback from all of our travelers and members, Tony. So I think good choice picking this itinerary and the ship for our members. A little more information about the ship. Celebrity Infinity is a Millennium class ship. So if any of our members have sailed a Millennium class ship, they're familiar with the features and amenities. Infinity is 91,000 tons and holds just over 2,100 passengers. For those 2,100 passengers, there are 2.1 crew members for every passenger. So our members will be taken care of wonderfully on board that ship. She was refurbished in 2019. As I mentioned, we'll be dining in one of the specialty dining restaurants for our special dinner, but there's 2 others on board as well. So there's 3 specialty dining restaurants. There's an Italian restaurant. There's La Petite Chef, which is an immersive, unique dining experience, and then also a sushi restaurant as well. The accommodations are distinctive and luxurious. I said renovated in 2019, so really great decor and features in the rooms and cabins. There's the Canyon Ranch Spa and Fitness Center to, stay healthy and well while sailing and get in some of those massages and spa services. Like Tony said, lots of great entertainment, Broadway style shows, live music, comedians, different types of entertainment for, all likes. There's 2 outdoor pools, one of which is tiered. So, you want to be in the sun and, part of the atmosphere, but not necessarily next to the water. There's that opportunity. And then there's also an enclosed adults only solarium with a pool and, hot tubs and some great lounge chairs. There's the shaved ice covered martini bar, which is very popular. And those martinis are included as part of the beverage package. So a great feature and very well liked on those Millennium class ships. And then there's the Cellar Masters wine bar. Again, glasses of wine are included from that wine bar with the beverage package. And then there's also a casino on board, Fortune's Casino, if you want to try your luck in the casino.
Great. And one thing I would have to mention in regards to that is if there's plenty of lounges to go to and they have music playing, or some that are just quiet. If you want to just read a book in a lounge, you can find that anything for your needs are certainly there to make your stay just a lot more enjoyable. So just a great ship.
Right. Lots of opportunity to, take in whatever type of entertainment that you want. All right, so into the itinerary, because this is a spectacular itinerary, and we're in port, a different port every day. So really a great encompassing program, because we get to experience Celebrity Infinity, but we also get to be in port every day. So we have our accommodations and our meals and our entertainment on board, but get to experience a different port. And we only have to unpack once to see all these sites, which is I think one of the greatest features. So we first embarked the ship in Athens. The cruise port is 17 minutes from our hotel. So a nice quick transfer from the hotel over to the port, and we'll be on board in time to jump into that beverage package and have lunch and, watch the port before we sail in the afternoon. And then our first port is Thessaloniki in Greece, and really this is a great varying island. So lots of beauty, lots to see, but also lots of history included, archaeological sites. Really, just great opportunities to get out there and see and experience the beauty and the history in this first island of Greece.
Great job on the saying Thessaloniki. That was terrific. One of the things that she mentioned, the White Tower, is something that a lot of people go to, and from the top of that tower, you just get a great view of the city. I'm sure that's going to be part of one of the tours that the ship has.
Yes. And Tony, good point. So in every port, our members and travelers will have their choice of of excursion or what they do. You know, they can get off the ship and explore on their own, or choose one of Celebrity's many different excursions, offering all different experiences and different activity levels. And the next port is Mykonos, known for its whitewashed villages sprinkled with blue and jade green. Just look at that water there. There's your jade green, but there's that blue on the doors and some of the rooftops, and that's, you know, I think what Mykonos is known for, along with its sophisticated nightlife. And you know, we will be in port a little bit later this evening, so the members, you know, can experience a little bit of that nightlife. But don't let the beauty and the nightlife take away from the history. Again, Greek mythology, the ruins, ancient history, lots to see and do, and also, you know, experience and learn while in Mykonos.
Great. And shopping there is terrific. If any of those that like to shop, get some things, some memorabilia from Greece, this is a great place to get it. Also, like Melissa said, the beaches are beautiful. And one of the things that I think it took a little bit of time to get, but if you're into the art galleries, there's some terrific art there also.
Yes, and good point, Tony. So some of the excursions do offer experiences to visit some of those art galleries as well. Tony, I'm going to let you take Ephesus because you have a great story that ties in with the photo of the rug up in the corner there.
Sure. So Ephesus is the birthplace of the Virgin Mother, but one of the beautiful things in Ephesus, if you take a tour there, are the terrace houses, and they're ancient terrace houses, and just amazing the architecture that they did way back when before they had machinery to do those types of things, and that they're still, you know, that they look as strong as they do right now. So some great architecture in Ephesus. And to what Melissa said, they also have what they call Turkish rugs. Turkish rugs are extremely long lasting. They are handmade, and they'll show you. They'll actually do a little bit of a demonstration as to how they make them. And of course, they will also sell you a Turkish rug. And as Melissa shows up there, we actually bought a Turkish rug there. They will negotiate, so don't ever buy it on their first price. I'll tell you that. You can negotiate them down pretty good. They'll start somewhere around $10,000, and you end up paying a couple $1,000s for it. But you got to outlast them a little bit. But I can tell you, they last a long time. I have children, I had dogs, and my Turkish rug, which is 11 years old now, is still as strong as ever. How they ship it to you is really kind of interesting. You actually sign the back of the rug and any type of signature that you want, or any special indication that you want, and they FedEx it to you for free to your FedEx station. It's a little bit heavy. They can't send it to your home, but they'll send it to a FedEx depot, and then you just pick it up at the FedEx depot by your house. When I returned last time, it had beat me home. So you don't have to worry about it. You check the back tag and said, "Yep, that's my signature on the back there," and you have it. So just a lot of great things to do in Ephesus, and it's probably my second favorite place on this whole trip is Ephesus.
And I know what your favorite is, and I think we're gonna get to that slide soon. So the next port after Ephesus is Rhodes, and Rhodes is known as the friendliest city in the Mediterranean, and shops, restaurants, clubs, people watching, just a really spectacular city and port. And they are known also for their almond cookies. So be sure when you visit here to, you know, taste out some of the almond cookies. Really just a great, you know, like I said, people watching, fun, beautiful port. Again, with a lot of historic sites and history, and streets and medieval streets. So, you know, another great port with a lot of variety. And
like
Tony,
you
this
said,
is your favorite.
this is my favorite. Santorini is so beautiful. That picture is exactly the way it looks at, but the most breathtaking part of this are the cliffs. And when you've walked up to the top of Santorini, you look at the breathtaking cliffs, and it just it makes your heart skip a beat. Just know that the world is made like this, and it's so beautiful. So we don't get to see a lot of this in America. So it's just kind of a special thing. And the blue painting and the whitewashed buildings are exactly the way to look in the picture. And you'll see that picture if you hike up there. I will tell you that there's a number of walking tours that you can take. At Santorini, you can take some that are a little bit more active than others. I will tell you that in some cases that they're not the easiest of walking tours, but it's still worth it to do it. This is a port that you actually have to tender in, so the ship will stay out maybe I'm going to say probably a quarter of a mile maybe or whatever, and you tender that in. But it's certainly worth it to tender in and spend your time at a coffee shop or jewelry store or whatever it is that is your pleasure. I can tell you we loved Santorini, and it's just gorgeous, just beautiful.
Yes. And Tony, to your point about tendering in, and it's because of the cliffs and the jagged shore there. And that's because the most of the area was created from a volcanic eruption. And that eruption has aided to some great soils for growing some great grapes, for some wonderful wine that can be tasted and also purchased in Santorini.
And the beauty is you don't have to drive after that. You get back in the boat and you relax for the rest of the day.
Right, right. Take a little nap in the solarium and you're good to go. And then the last port is Hydra, and I misspoke with Rhodes. So it's actually Hydra that's known for the almond cookies, not Rhodes. But Hydra is a small little exquisite island. There are no cars, scooters, bikes allowed on the island. So you get around on foot, donkey, or with water taxi. So again, it's known for its beaches, flower gardens, gift shops, restaurants, portside taverns, and again, the cookies. But really just a great little, port city, and, go to the tavern and then ride the donkey around town. So it's sounds like a great way to see. And again, the shopping, like you mentioned. So I think shopping is key in just about every port.
The people watching is fantastic.
Hmm.
Like you said, those are things that sometimes you just sit there, you could sip a cup of coffee, maybe have a glass of wine or whatever it is that you like, and you just watch the people. And it's so much fun, and it's just different than what we have here.
Right, right. And then unfortunately, our journey comes to an end and we have to disembark the ship in Athens. I love this shot of the port area, and looking out into the sea, just to see really how bustling it is, but then to think back about the beauty and the serenity that it seems of the ports that we'll be visiting during the week. So great experience, lots of ports, lots of opportunities on this itinerary. So we'll hop into the pricing of this trip, and again, lots of inclusions. We talked about all the inclusions, virtually all inclusive. Double occupancy for an inside cabin starts at $26.49 per person. Now, the difference between the cabins, inside cabins are going to be, on the interior of the ship, and they won't have any windows, but really, a great option, because you really don't spend a lot of time in your cabin. Ocean view will have a picture window or a porthole, and will be, above water level, so you can see out your window. And then veranda cabins have floor to ceiling windows and a sliding door out to a veranda. And then there's a variety of suites. And one of the varieties is an Aqua Class suite, which offers added perks and amenities. And I'll let Tony explain a little bit about the Aqua Class suites.
Sure. Most of them, they'll have butler service if you enjoy that. They also have their own areas where only people in Aqua Class Suites can go to it. So it's their own pool, their own hot tubs, their own restaurant and bar. Doesn't mean you go there all the time, but it's just kind of special, and you recognize that you're going to be away from the bigger crowds with the Aqua Class Suites. So if it's something that you are interested in, I think I would recommend it. Because it's just that if you want to just do something with just you and your spouse, or you and a couple other people, it's a great place to just get away and do that. So only people that have Aqua Class Suite cards can get in there. But the other people can try, but the door won't open. So
Yes. And yeah, so you have the added perks and amenities, but they're also suites. So the cabins are a little bit larger. You'll have a larger veranda and a larger sitting area in your cabin as well. And there's a variety of different suites as well available. And what I recommend is talking with your travel advisor, to talk about what your experience, what type of experience you're looking for. And then your advisor can really guide to what type cabin they recommend for you. And, within the different categories inside Ocean View, Veranda, and the suites, there's different levels within those categories. So it might be based on where on the ship you're located, or maybe a slightly larger cabin. So it's important to talk to your travel advisor and express what your needs and expectations are, so they can match you with the right cabin. And a little note about the yellow cloud there on our slide. Members that were registered for and attended our two in-person events in Syracuse and Rochester, and members who wanted to attend in Buffalo, but the ice storm got the best of us, and we're presenting today, are eligible for a discount off of your trip, up to $100 per cabin. So make sure to talk to your travel advisor about that as well. And that discount, you must be booked and deposited by March 8th to be eligible for that discount. Okay, and like Tony mentioned, in the beginning, we do have options for group air. So what does that mean? It means that we will, if you're part of the group air program and you select this, we'll leave Western and Central New York together, arrive Athens together, and then on the return, depart Athens together and travel back to Western and Central New York together. So it includes round trip nonstop flights between Toronto and Athens. And we did get the question in some of our sessions, how long is the flight? And it's about 9.5 hours nonstop. The group air package also includes round trip shuttle service from Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse to Toronto. So what does that mean? It means you park at our Liverpool office, at our location in Rochester, or at our Amherst office, and we pick you up there with a motor coach, get you across the border. You don't have to worry about driving yourself. You don't have to worry about parking at the airport, and the motor coach drops off right at the departure doors, and then picks up at the arrival doors. And baggage service is also included, so the motor coach driver will assist with loading and unloading the motor coach, and really getting us as close to the doors as possible in Toronto. And then in Athens, the group air package also includes transfers from the Athens airport to our hotel on the 14th of September, and then on the 23rd, transfers from the pier back to the airport. So like I said, we'll be together every step of the way. We have 3 different classes of service with the group air: economy, premium economy, and business class. The different prices are listed on the screen there. The difference between economy and premium economy is going to have a slightly larger seat, extra leg room, and a little bit additional recline on the seat, as well as some added amenities in cabin. So an upgraded meal, and you know, a little package at your seat, you know, toothpaste, toothbrush, little eye mask, and then business class. So the difference between business class and premium economy, again, a larger seat than premium economy, even more extended legroom, and then a little bit more of a recline, even more than premium economy, and then, you know, some added amenities as well.
Melissa, let me mention
Yes.
also, we should please check your passports too for expirations, because
Yes.
many of us haven't traveled, you know, due to the pandemic, and sometimes those things happen. So if you do have to get your passport renewed, it needs to be available for 6 months past the time of return. So
Right.
that's something that you have to make sure that it doesn't expire before, I think it's March of 24.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, with us returning September 23rd, really, you know, make sure it's valid until at least April 1st of 24, and you'll be safe there. But great point, Tony. And yeah, passport renewals are taking 8 weeks at this point, if not more during peak times. So take a look, make sure you don't expire and your passport is valid. So there's no issues, or you don't have to scramble right before travel. All right, and next up is travel protection, near and dear to our hearts, and so important. And we want you to protect your investment, protect your trip, and protect yourself. So travel protection covers, you know, if you need to cancel due to death, injury, or illness to yourself or an immediate family member. So right up front, it protects your investment, but also it protects you while you're traveling. So you have medical coverage in case you become sick or injured. You have interruption coverage if you become sick or injured and miss, you know, a few days of your trip and need alternate accommodations, or, you know, lose out on some non-refundable costs. That interruption also covers if you have a family member at home that becomes sick or injured or passes away and you need to return home for that. It reimburses lost days of your trip and covers expenses to get you home. There's coverage for lost or delayed baggage, travel delay, you know, God forbid there's delay with flights and, you know, you miss part of your trip in Athens, coverage for that as well. So we highly recommend it, and it's very important. And what I recommend is to talk to your travel advisor, let them know your, you know, specific circumstances and really what you're looking to do to protect your trip, and they can really advise you on the best policy for you. There's a couple different policies to choose from based on, you know, the type of protection you're looking for.
Sure. And Melissa, you know, we've done these trips now since 2012. And I will tell, aside from the pandemic, of course, but I will
Right.
tell you that there has not been a trip where someone didn't need either to go home because they were ill, or someone maybe tripped and fell because you're looking around like a tourist and not necessarily seeing every step that there is there. And of course, there are a lot of uneven sidewalks and roads and things like that that you're going to be walking on. I will tell you the most important thing is to make sure your health insurance is covered. So
Yes.
many times when you go to foreign countries, your existing health insurance only covers you for a very small piece of it. And if you need something bigger, that's going to be out of pocket to you. Highly recommend that we get it. It's through Allianz Insurance, which is one of the best travel insurance companies in the world. And I could give you a lot of people who have had to go through this that said, wow, I'm really glad I had it. And Allianz did a terrific job.
Yes, yes. You know, Tony, quickly, I was with a group in Mexico in October, and we had a gentleman fall ill, and the facility in Puerto Vallarta actually worked directly with Allianz. And from the moment they arrived, Allianz took over his care. He was treated phenomenally. The paperwork, the reimbursement process was very easy, and the travelers were very appreciative that their advisor recommended the policy to them. And, you know, it was a relief for them that they didn't have that expense on their own. So it's very important to protect yourself and protect your investment.
Sure.
Yeah. And that's the end of our presentation. You know, we sincerely thank all of you for joining us, and you know, hope that you will join us on the trip. Together, Tony and I have a lot of fun, but we also provide a great experience for
We
our
do. And
members.
like Melissa said, just thank you for taking the time to look into this. I will tell you, these trips are chosen because we know they are a great experience, and you're going to come back, you know, with memories of a lifetime, and that's what it's all about. So thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you. Feel free to call. Melissa, do we have a number, or should they just go to the website? How should they contact us?
So if they visit AAA.com/presidents, all of the details are there, as well as where they can download a brochure. They can call us at 800-937-1222 to speak with a travel advisor, or if they, you know, currently work with a travel advisor, they can reach out there as well. Yeah, we just, you know, hope they join us, and it's going to be a fabulous trip.
It will. Thank you, Melissa.
Yes,
Great
you're
job.
welcome. Thanks, Tony.
Okay, take care.
Thanks, everybody.